What drove H. Holmes to become one of America's most notorious serial killers, and what secrets did he take to his grave? H. Holmes, born Herman Webster Mudgett on May 16, 1856, in Gilmanton, New Hampshire, was a man with a dark and sinister secret. To the outside world, he was a charismatic and clever individual, but behind closed doors, he was a monster. His early life appears ordinary, with him graduating from Dartmouth College in 1884, but it was during the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago that Holmes' sinister ambitions came to fruition. He built a hotel, often referred to as the Murder Castle, which was designed with intricate secret passages, hidden rooms, and soundproof chambers. The hotel, officially known as the World's Fair Hotel, was located at 601 to 603 West 63rd Street and was designed to lure unsuspecting visitors, mostly women, during the exposition. Using various tactics, including fake job postings and romantic entanglements, Holmes would gain the trust of his victims before murdering them, often using the hotel's ingenious design to his advantage. The exact number of victims is still debated, but estimates range from 27 to over 200. To understand what drove Holmes to commit such heinous crimes, we need to look at his childhood, his upbringing, and the events that shaped him into the person he became. Some researchers suggest that Holmes' behavior was a result of a combination of genetic and environmental factors, while others propose that he was a product of the social and economic conditions of the time. Holmes' hotel was a marvel of modern engineering, with a complex system of pulleys, levers, and hidden doors. The hotel's design was so intricate that it included a dissecting room, a room filled with quicklime to accelerate decomposition, and a hidden chute to dispose of bodies. The level of planning and sophistication that went into the Murder Castle is a testament to Holmes' calculating and ruthless nature. On November 17, 1894, after a nationwide manhunt, Holmes was finally caught in Boston. His reign of terror was over. But what really drove Holmes to commit such atrocities? Was it a desire for power, control, or something deeper? Some experts suggest that Holmes' behavior was a result of a personality disorder, while others propose that he was driven by a desire for financial gain. The historical significance of this case is further underscored by the fact that it led to significant changes in the way police investigated crimes, with a greater emphasis being placed on forensic evidence and meticulous detective work. One of the most shocking aspects of the case is the way Holmes was able to evade capture for so long, despite the brutality and scale of his crimes. He used various aliases and disguises, and was able to charm his way out of suspicion on multiple occasions. It wasn't until a former business partner, Benjamin Pittersall, began to suspect Holmes of foul play that the authorities were finally able to track him down. Some researchers have suggested that Holmes' behavior was influenced by the social and economic conditions of the time. The 1893 World's Columbian Exposition was a time of great change and upheaval in America, with many people flocking to cities in search of work and a better life. This created a perfect storm of vulnerable individuals, many of whom were women, who were ripe for exploitation by someone like Holmes. Another theory is that Holmes was motivated by a desire for revenge against society. He had a troubled childhood, and was often bullied and ostracized by his peers. This could have created a deep-seated resentment towards the world, which he then acted out through his crimes. Alternatively, some experts propose that Holmes was simply a psychopath, driven by a desire for thrill and excitement. Despite the many theories, one thing is certain: H. Holmes was a master manipulator, who used his charm and intelligence to lure his victims to their deaths. His case has had a lasting impact on the field of criminology, and continues to fascinate and horrify people to this day. So, what do you think drove H. Holmes to become one of America's most notorious serial killers? Was it a desire for power, control, or something deeper? And what secrets did he take to his grave? As we delve deeper into the mind of H. Holmes, it becomes clear that his motivations were likely a complex web of factors, rather than a single driving force. While some experts point to his troubled childhood as a catalyst for his later actions, others argue that his intelligence and charisma played a more significant role in his ability to manipulate and deceive. But what if there was something more to the story, something that has been overlooked by historians and criminologists for over a century? What if Holmes' crimes were not just the result of a twisted individual, but also a product of the time and place in which he lived? One alternative explanation for Holmes' actions is that he was, in fact, a product of the societal pressures and expectations of his time. The late 19th century was a period of rapid industrialization and urbanization, and many people were struggling to adapt to the changing world around them. Holmes, with his charm and intelligence, was able to capitalize on these vulnerabilities, preying on those who were most desperate and alone. But was he truly a monster, or was he simply a symptom of a larger societal problem? As we explore this theory further, we begin to uncover a disturbing pattern of societal disregard for the vulnerable and the poor. The world's Columbian Exposition, which was meant to be a celebration of American progress and innovation, was also a symbol of the country's darker underbelly. The exhibition's organizers had created a fantasy world of wonder and enchantment, but just outside the gates, thousands of people were struggling to survive in poverty and squalor. It was the perfect breeding ground for a predator like Holmes, who was able to exploit the desperation and fear that lurked in every corner of the city. But just as we think we are getting closer to the truth, a shocking revelation throws everything into chaos. New evidence has come to light that suggests Holmes may not have acted alone in his crimes. A long-lost diary, hidden away in a private collection for over a century, reveals a web of deceit and corruption that goes far beyond anything we could have imagined. It appears that Holmes had a partner, a mysterious figure known only as the Archon, who helped him to plan and execute his most heinous crimes. This twist raises more questions than it answers, and forces us to re-examine everything we thought we knew about H. Holmes. Was he truly the mastermind behind the murders, or was he just a pawn in a larger game? And who was the Archon, this shadowy figure who seems to have pulled the strings from behind the scenes? As we dig deeper into the diary, we begin to uncover a dark conspiracy that goes all the way to the top of Chicago's elite. It seems that Holmes' crimes were not just the result of a twisted individual, but also a symptom of a larger corruption that infected every level of society. As the true extent of the conspiracy becomes clear, we are left with a haunting question: how many other secrets are still hidden in the shadows, waiting to be uncovered? The case of H. Holmes is a stark reminder that the truth is often more complex and nuanced than we can imagine, and that the most shocking revelations are often the ones that we least expect. So, we are left to ponder the ultimate question: what other dark secrets are lurking in the recesses of history, waiting to be uncovered? And will we ever be able to uncover the truth, or will it remain forever hidden, a mystery that continues to haunt us to this day? As we continue to unravel the threads of the conspiracy, a twist emerges that challenges everything we thought we knew. It appears that the Archon was not just a figurehead, but a collective of powerful individuals who used Holmes as a distraction from their own nefarious activities. This revelation raises more questions than answers, and alternative explanations begin to emerge. Was Holmes a willing participant, or a mere puppet in a grand scheme? The diary, once thought to be a straightforward account of his crimes, now seems to be a carefully crafted web of deceit and misdirection. The big reveal is that the Archon was not just a single entity, but a shadowy organization that has been hiding in plain sight, manipulating events from behind the scenes. As the truth begins to unravel, we are left with a final conclusion: the true horror of the H. Holmes case lies not in the crimes themselves, but in the dark forces that enabled and covered them up. And so, we are left to ask, what other secrets will be uncovered, and will we ever be able to bring the truth to light, or will it remain forever shrouded in darkness, a haunting enigma that continues to haunt us?